Hi there and welcome to Watches You Can Afford. In today's video, we'll take a closer look at the 20 best affordable chronograph watches of 2022. So with that said, let's head straight in. Motorsport and watches go back a long way, and by watches, we mean chronograph watches. Chronographs come with a few features that have put them on the wrist of many legendary drivers along the way. Used as personal timers way before the digital age came upon us, they were useful for tracking laps on the circuit thanks to their stopwatch function and other interesting complications like the tachymeter for measuring average speed or distance. Nowadays, their role has been taken over by professional digital stopwatches, and since even the most basic phones have a built-in stopwatch, chronographs seem to be on their way out. But no matter how digitalized we become, there's no denying there's a certain aura surrounding a chronograph watch. The joy of being able to measure lap times mechanically has an appeal that no digital device will ever have. It's that feeling of doing things like in the past that makes chronographs still worthy today. While chronographs have almost always been associated with price tags that few could touch, it doesn't mean all are unaffordable. There are quite a few options out there that offer that cool feeling and functionality of times past without making you feel poor. Car enthusiast or not, a chronograph is a worthy addition to any watch aficionado's collection, so let's dive into the best affordable options of one of the most popular types of watches ever made, the chronograph. Starting at number 20, we have the Hamilton Khaki Field Auto Chrono. The military-themed Hamilton Khaki Field Auto Chrono features a 44mm micro sandblasted steel case with screw-down crown, a solid case back, a 100-meter water resistance rating, and a matching military-style bund strap. The 14.15mm thickness, combined with a 44mm case, makes it hefty enough on the wrist, so it might not be a good choice for small wrists. The watch's heart is a Hamilton H21 self-winding movement, which at its core is an ETA Valjo 7750 modified for a power reserve of approximately 60 hours. The durability of this watch is well known, coming with a non-dome sapphire crystal that makes it even less prone to damage, which is why it's an excellent choice for outdoor enthusiasts. The only downside would be the hefty price tag, hitting almost $1,700. Moving on to number 19, we have the Hoffman Racing 40 Mechanical. Hoffman is a watch brand based in New York, and their Racing 40 Mechanical chronograph goes into more affordable price territory, priced at around $825. The watch is powered by Seagull ST1901/TY2901, a hand-wound movement with a 37-hour power reserve and a 21,600 VPH. The watch's heart comes encased in a 40mm stainless steel case with a 50-meter water depth rating and with a dial protected by sapphire crystal. Speaking of the dial, it's simple, legible, and features a tachymeter scale on the bezel. The watch comes in a limited edition of only 350 units. Number 18, the Seiko Chronograph SSB299P1. When you see Seiko, you should be glad, as it's one of the best Japanese watchmakers that managed to offer impressive timepieces at very affordable prices. The Seiko chronograph we're talking about here comes with a quartz movement encased in a large 44mm steel case with a fixed stainless steel bezel. A tachymeter scale is painted on the bezel and is paired with a red-tipped chronograph hand. The watch looks sporty and the bulky case gives it a tough appearance, but the dial is incredibly beautiful, proof that a lot of attention was given in designing it. The chronograph subdials add contrast and depth to the rest of the dial, making it that much more interesting. The watch comes with a battery life of around 3 years and a water resistance rating of 100 meters. Moving on to number 17, we have the Citizen Thin Blue Line Chronograph Eco Drive. On to number 17, we have the Citizen Thin Blue Line Chronograph Eco Drive. The Thin Blue Line Chronograph Eco Drive is one of Citizen's most cherished chronographs. It's a classic watch with a tough and sporty look worthy of the name, Nighthawk Chronograph. The piece is rated with a 200-meter water resistance and features a tachymeter scale. The dial sports a 1/5 second chronograph which measures up to 60 minutes and a 12-24-hour time. At 3 o'clock there's a date window, but probably the most interesting feature is the solar-powered movement, which means you'll never need to replace the battery. The case is 42mm, so not too small but not too big either. Despite its aggressive and bold design, the price is a good one as well, going for around $550. At number 16 we have the Bulova Marine Style Chronograph. The Bulova Marine Style Chronograph comes in a 44mm stainless steel case in which you'll find a B612 movement, a hybrid between quartz and solar power, removing the need to replace the battery. The movement powers a 1/5 second chronograph that measures up to 60 minutes, a 12-24 hour time, and the date. Water resistance goes up to 100 meters, so it's okay for occasional swimming. The most interesting part of the watch is, of course, its dial, which comes in a beautiful blue with subtle orange accents. The subdials come at the 3, 6 and 9 o'clock positions, striking a nice balance on the dial. And at number 15 we have the Estrella Leonov chronograph. Strela is a name with a lot of history behind it. It all starts with a Russian watch factory that was making chronographs with the 3017 calibre, based on the Swiss Venus 150/152. The factory was called at the time the first Moscow watch factory, but in 1964 it was renamed Polyot. Strela itself was one of the brand names that those watches were sold under. There was Polyot, Strela and Seconda. Nowadays Strela is a revival of the old brand and it's located in Munich, Germany. The Estrella Leonov is a modern timepiece that honours Russian cosmonaut Alexei Leonov, the first man to exit his capsule and conduct a spacewalk. Moving on to number 14, we have the Seiko Flightmaster chronograph. Here we meet another Seiko worthy of our attention, and it is the Flightmaster chronograph, a pilot's watch with plenty of functions. It's got quite a busy dial, powered by a Japanese quartz movement, held together by a 42mm stainless steel case with a water depth rating of 200 meters. At 3 o'clock we've got a date window with chronograph subdials positioned at the 6, 9 and 12 o'clock positions. The rotating bezel features a gear edge and contrasts with the black dial and white print. Interestingly enough, this watch also comes with the handy alarm feature among all our other functions. That's it for number 14. Moving on to number 13, we have the Tissot Men's Chrono XL Swiss Chronograph. The Tissot Men's Chrono XL Swiss Chronograph comes with a beautiful elegance and a minimalistic appearance that makes it a very good choice for those who want a more subtle watch on their wrists, but one that does more than tell the time. The 45mm stainless steel case is impressive and clean looking and has a water resistance of 100 meters. The blue dial comes out as balanced and the overall look speaks of timelessness and elegance. At number 12, we meet yet again another Seiko in our top 20 for today, and it is the Seiko Neo Sports Chronograph Quartz SSB 357. Priced at only $150, the Seiko Neo Sports Chronograph Quartz is an affordable timepiece with a big sporty aesthetic. And when we say big, we mean a 48mm diameter case with a 14mm thickness to it. The watch has a fixed steel bezel with a tachymeter scale printed on it and paired with a red tip chronograph hand. The subdials are traditionally placed at the 3, 6 and 9 o'clock positions. The interesting part is that the dial is made from carbon fibre while the subdials on it are raised, adding depth to the dial. At number 11 we have the Tissot Carson Premium Chronograph. The Tissot Carson chronograph comes with an old school aesthetic and is powered by an automatic Swiss ETA movement. There's a sapphire crystal glass protecting the dial underneath, and overall it's a fine timepiece. It actually makes for a perfect budget chronograph, as there aren't many options on the market with a Swiss automatic movement priced under $500. So considering that, this one is surely a steal. And so that brings us to number 10, the Nordgreen Pioneer. The Nordgreen Pioneer is a nice blend of chronograph complications and the minimalist Scandinavian design. The dial is superb with a futuristic design, impressive depth in the details, and a domed sapphire crystal glass that warps light in a very interesting manner. With its minimalistic aesthetic, the Nordgreen Pioneer lacks the usual details of the chronograph subdials, but that makes it even more interesting and unique. It's beautiful, simplistic, and makes for a great addition, especially since it's priced under $300. So at number 9, moving on from the simplicity of the Nordgreen Pioneer to the overcomplicated dial, we meet the Citizen Avion Eco Drive. The Avion brings a unique style and a solar-powered movement. The dial looks a little bit complicated with a lot going on, but this is appealing to some, so give it a try if it's to your liking. The Citizen Avion Eco Drive is an iconic chronograph already, which makes for a great tool watch. It's aviation inspired, so this might be the right choice for aviation enthusiasts, with legibility as the main concern. At number 8, we have the Seagull 1963 Chronograph. The Seagull 1963 Chronograph is a remake of an older watch developed for the Chinese Air Force. Though the remake uses a Chinese movement, the hand-wound Seagull ST19, it's based on a Swiss movement, so you can expect good enough quality from it. The power reserve goes up to 42 hours and has a 21,600 VPH. Feature-wise, it comes with an acrylic watch glass, NATO canvas strap, and a display case back through which you can admire the inside of the watch's heart. Moving on to number 7, we meet the Graf Zeppelin series LZ127 Chrono. There's something about this watch that just feels special. Maybe it's the contrast between the off-white coloured dial and the superb font for its large Arabic numerals, or the way the running seconds on the right are perfectly balanced by the elapsed hours and minutes on the left, while a big date feature at the bottom and the Zeppelin logo seem to complete everything in style. Honouring 100 years of the iconic Zeppelin airship, this watch has a Swiss Ronda 5020 point B quartz movement, complemented by a chronograph function that can measure elapsed time for up to 12 hours. At number 6, we have the Vincero Chrono S. The Vincero Chrono S brings a unique dial design with subdials at 6, 9 and 12 o'clock and comes in a great variety of case and dial colours. It's got a bold and masculine look with enough qualities to make it a good choice for everyday wear and tear. And with a price of around $215, it surely is a bargain. At number 5, we meet the Seiko Classic Chronograph SNDC31. One of the greatest options for an affordable chronograph watch is the Seiko Classic Chronograph. Priced just a bit above the $200 mark, it's simple and classy with a discreet 38mm stainless steel case and thin polished bezel. The dial is beautiful, featuring black Arabic numerals and minute markers on a creamy dial. There's a date display at 3 o'clock and the 3 subdials of the chronograph function, a dual 60-second 12-hour, 60 minutes and the 1/20th of a second. The movement powering the watch is the Seiko 7T92 Quartz and is rated for up to 100 meters of water resistance. At number 4, we meet the Citizen Military Field Chronograph Eco Drive. The Military Field Chronograph Eco Drive is another very popular watch from Citizen. Its military-inspired design makes for a very appealing aesthetic, with a matte black dial, large white and easily legible Arabic numerals, large luminous hands. The dial has a date window at 4 o'clock, and the red chronograph hand adds to the contrasting looks. The movement is solar-powered, so it should be trouble-free when it comes to the battery. The case measures 39mm in diameter, so it's not too big, making it comfortable for smaller wrists as well, and the 100-meter water resistance rating is enough for swimming. So we've arrived at our top 3 in our top 20 most affordable chronographs. With a nice and clean aesthetic, at number 3 we have the Timex Weekender Chrono. The Timex Weekender Chrono is among the best choices, especially given the $150 price tag. The watch comes with a great selection of dial and strap colours, so there's plenty to choose from depending on your style. It makes for a great daily wear timepiece. At number 2, we have the Casio MTP 4500D 1AV Aviator stainless steel chrono. Moving towards the most affordable chronograph watches that are worth buying, we have the Casio Aviator stainless steel chrono in the second place. It makes for a good entry-level timepiece for those who want to get into the chronograph watch world, with a busy dial and orange hands add a nice contrast and help with legibility. There's a useful tachymeter which helps you make various calculations, and the overall look, despite the many functions and information provided, is still clean enough to look good. And top of our list at number 1, the most affordable chronograph watch you could have and one to deserve the title is the Timex Expedition Field Chronograph. Usually priced at just under $50, this watch is an excellent choice for anyone. It sports a more rugged look, so it's appropriate for those outdoor enthusiasts. The 30-minute chronograph is accurate down to the 1/20th of a second, and the numerals are printed in increments of 5, which reminds of the military watches of old. So in conclusion, depending on your budget and income, affordable is relative. For some, the Hamilton Khaki Field Auto Chrono, priced at almost $1,700, is affordable enough. For others, only the first 5 timepieces are considered affordable. But no matter your choice, these 20 affordable chronograph watches are some of the best options you could have when you're on a budget.